folks. We're getting close. 10 seconds.
Best of luck.
Somebody check the doorbell.
6, 5,
Go to black.
4, 3.
They're not dolls!
Nighttime putty! Warning, do not use nighttime putty during the day, sunset, or sunrise.
The baby's sleeping.
I'm back! One guy with more than 1,000 views in all the episodes I must review. You know, after reviewing Kings of the Con, I went into therapy for about a week. Don't ask why? I couldn't find an anger management class around in the city. But anyway, you know, it's pretty hard to find a bad episode of The Loud House. Well, not really, depending on your guys' perspective. I know that several have their picks as worst episodes from the series, whether it be like Lincoln Loud Girl Guru, The Loudest Yard, Serial Offender, Brawl in the Family, No Such Luck. But let's get back into the first season of The Loud House, because really, this is an episode from the first season. You know, for me, I kind of have a bit of a like spot for both episodes. With Lincoln Loud Girl Guru, I expect that the situation would be turned bitter for Lincoln when he was giving horrible advice, and I kind of felt that it went hand in hand with Lincoln getting pelted by pies at the end. I mean, on paper, I should have despised that episode, but somehow I kind of didn't. It is mean-spirited, yes, but I felt like it was the right balance, kinda. And the same can actually be said about The Loudest Yard. I should hate it for how Given Lincoln scored for the wrong team, thus causing his teammate to chase after him, but the episode had established that Lincoln had no knowledge of sports, so it came off as not too hard to believe that he would mess up like this one, especially when the mother forced him to actually be into sports without even letting him decide first. And yet, I still actually love that humor, how Lucy pulled the football away from Lincoln, Charlie Brown style. That was still so humorous. I guess what I'm trying to say is that while I can understand other Loud House fans' dislike for both episodes, I was kind of a bit of forgiving about these two episodes. That isn't easy for me to say that they're my favorites. No, none of these ones aren't my favorites at all, and I will actually do a Loud House video on my top 10 favorite Loud House episodes, depending on first, second, third, and fourth, fifth season episodes. But as I try to be as neutral as I could regarding either episodes. And as for this episode, I regard so much after seeing it the second time. And with that being said, Two Boys and a Baby, 28th episode of season 1 of The Loud House. Can you tell me how to get to... Yeah, stop. I'm getting off the subject. I was saving that one for the next review. Two Boys and a Baby, the 28th episode of season 1 of The Loud House. You know, something about this episode really bothers me, and it really bugged me so much after seeing this episode. And as for one YouTube user, don't even say because it's for a different timeline. That's not gonna save this episode for what Lincoln did back in the past. And it won't save so much with Ties That Bind and Read Aloud. Especially when Lincoln popped the question in Ties That Bind, you can read? I'm telling you, there's a lot of plot holes in this one. And there's a lot of holes in this episode. Let's see if this will be a good movie someday or not.
Sunday mornings. My homework's done, my chores are complete, and I'm looking forward to a whole day of freedom.
'Cause it means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
And everybody do the Charlie Brown dance.
It's the 90s, so we're a little less PC.
Oh, that's good.
We even managed to work in an up-tempo pop tune for the soundtrack. That's important.
Rise and shine, kids! We're going to Aunt Ruth's today! Yay!
Oh, fuck you!
What did you say to me?
I mean, nice boots you got.
You know, something I actually never mentioned in any of my reviews before, is it just me or does Aunt Ruth feel like she's kind of like Patty and Selma from The Simpsons? How really gross is she?
She makes us look at a million pictures of her cats.
Here's Mittens in Egypt. We were going to visit the pyramids, but Mittens hates the heat, don't you, baby?
Wait a minute, if that cat's Mittens, then who's the other cat's name? Pussy Willow? You know, let's proceed.
She feeds us gross food.
Oh, you nasty motherfucker.
Holy guacamole shitball storm, Batman. This doesn't even look like pudding. When was the shit even made?
Seeing as this flag on the label only has 48 stars.
Yeah, the way she said that there's like 48 stars, I could be wrong about this, but then again, you guys can correct me if I am actually wrong about this, but I think the 48 stars on the actual flag was somewhere in 1912, and then there were about 49 stars in 1959, and somewhere finally, I think it got 50 stars in 1960. So right now this review is in 2021, and so last year it must have been its 60th anniversary. And I'm not here to teach history, we're here to talk about the review.
Me out to do special chores.
And when you're done scooping, you can start rubbing these bunions. Don't forget my extra toe!
Fuck that! No! Oh no! Fuck no! I'm out of here. Oh no! I'm afraid you're gonna have to call a foot doctor about that, sweetheart. Such a fucking joker. And you know, with all this being said about her extra toe, something I actually noticed when I first watched this show, do you ever notice that some of these human characters have 4 fingers instead of 5 fingers? It's more disturbing how I'm watching total drama that way when all those characters got 4 fingers and the characters from 16 have 5 fingers. Which also includes Lisa having an extra toe, as you would see in Potty Mouth and in The Mad Scientist. I don't know what these writers are actually thinking, but let me tell you, they really need a brain trust in that studio, even with Chris out of the picture. But as much shit can actually possibly get worse, the only 2 people who don't even have to go to Aunt Ruth is Lily and Lynn Sr., because somewhat she doesn't trust Lily around the cats, and Lynn Sr. has to stay home and babysit her.
Lucky.
But somehow Lincoln has himself a better idea that he thinks he can actually take charge and babysit Lily, which should not be a hard problem for him due to how he had some good baby experience in season 1. But is there a downside of this?
So I thought, this time, why don't I babysit Lily so Dad can see Aunt Ruth for a change?
Well, now, son, I couldn't deprive you of your time with your aunt, and I'm not sure you're really ready to take care of Lily, right? Right?
Seriously, what is this dad's problem of him seeing Aunt Ruth? Like, what's the same problem with Patty and Selma not liking Homer Simpson, or Sugar Mama not liking her son, Oscar? Something's wrong with some of these characters.
But I've learned a ton about babysitting from Lori and Lenny. Not to mention the real pros, you guys.
I wouldn't go and call your parents pros yet. And trust me, all of these YouTube users out there have 100 reasons why they're not so good parents. And by the way, here's another piece of trivia for some people before they head off to Aunt Ruth's. If you own the DVD of the first season and volume 1 of The Loud House, when the dad's up on the bed, when he's got the newspaper up there, if you freeze frame it and zoom right in, you'll notice that the paper actually says, "Studies find sailors hate spinach." Now, which sailor comes to everybody's mind that would eat spinach? That's right, and I love those cartoons. Anyways.
Now, all you'll need to do is feed her, change her, and then put her down for a nap.
If I have to see that extra toe, so help me.
Lucky.
It's not luck, it's strategy.
If you can't outrun them, you can always outsmart them. Strategy. Yeah, that's the answer.
Okay, this isn't a funeral they're actually going to. If any of you guys watch this episode, listen closely to the music, how that sounds.
If I have to see that extra toe, so help me.
Lucky.
They make it sound like it's the end of the world for them. Except for Lana, who bizarrely smiles about this.
Have a great day.
What'd you do there, sweetheart? Did you just fart before you went out the door? Nah, if she did, it would sound like this.
God damn! Come in, Lincoln. It's Clyde. Are we hanging out today? I'd love to, buddy, but I'm babysitting Lily, and you probably don't want to...
Are you kidding? I'm great with babies. I'll be right over.
You know, this would actually make a good Lincoln and Clyde episode, but somewhat it rubbed me the wrong way when I watched this.
Mom says first thing, we gotta feed her. Here, you put her in the high chair and I'll get her food.
No. No again.
Open up the hangar, Lily. Here comes the airplane.
Nothing, Mama.
Okay, a little turbulence.
Survey says...
Mama! Here, let me try. I don't know why I married you. Like she doesn't want to eat.
She's just a baby, Clyde. We can make her eat. I mean, how hard could it be?
You have got to be shitting me. How the fuck did they make a mess like this big already? How hard is it to actually feed a baby food? And you know, this kind of reminds me of a cartoon in the Looney Tunes with Sylvester, and there was this ma cat, and then there was this little kitten cat. I don't know if he actually has a name or not, but he always keeps calling him Spoiled Brat. But here comes something that actually feels really stupid, and it actually got me laughing at the same time when I first watched this.
You know, I read in this book called A Food for Tot that if you show the baby you like the food, she'll like it too.
I won't even ask.
Why were you reading a baby book?
Never mind, I don't really want to know.
Really? Chicken and gravy? Doesn't that sound good? Yummy.
Lincoln, why is there a dog on the label?
1, 2, 3.
Meaty tasting.
Ho ho and ha ha ha, hey. I'll ho ho and ha ha you, little shit.
Watch your mouth.
What? It's not a lie.
And you know, I'm kind of laughing about this because there was kind of a commercial I remember seeing on television. And then there was a picture on Mixed Tunes where they were feeding Jen Madison from 16 this baby food. I think it was either Buster, Lincoln, or somebody else that was saying this to Jen as they stuffed her with the baby food. And then they say, "Come on, Jen, the baby's watching." I almost feel sorry about, and I almost hate how they are tormenting Jen.
Well, that was disgusting, but at least I'm not scooping poop at Aunt Ruth's.
Oh, shit!
Quite literally, so to speak. And you know, this is one scene I really hated in this episode. And it's about clear as pain in my ass as I watch this again.
This shouldn't be too bad. I've seen Mom do it a million times.
You know, I would hate to go and say this. Lincoln may have the good experience about how he handles Lily around in the outhouse. Suddenly he has no brain cells about how to change a baby's diaper. But then again, there's a really big plot hole in a couple of season 5 episodes about this. And I'm really not going to enjoy about what I'm going to review in September. And luckily, I'm actually getting help with that review.
My whole life just flashed before my eyes.
Let me try. I read all about this in Oopsie, My Baby Made a Poopsie.
God damn it, Kenny.
Yeah, totally fine.
So much for the kid who actually knows everything about babies. Then again, maybe he doesn't even have the full experience of it yet until a later episode in season 2. Well, in this time, they managed to change Lily's diaper, but here comes some of that really gross, not only me, but everybody else out who actually watched this episode. And I know several people in this town who actually nearly almost puked during it. Oh, shit!
yourself!
That was fucking stupid. Honestly, I mean, how fucking difficult is it to just go up and pick up the diaper and just throw it in the garbage? It's not even that hard to actually kill a spider in the house. And this ain't the first time he ever got covered in Finkel shit.
Flashback? Flashback.
Hit it!
My fecal slugs!
That's disgusting!
Let's never speak of this.
There's no reason to speak of it, because I can tell you one thing though, Lisa's really gonna enjoy what's laying in that room. Which also begs the question, why the hell would a 4-year-old actually be into shit like that? No pun intended. And so on, it's about time for Lily's nap time.
And so the beautiful Princess Lori and the brave Sir Clyde lived happily ever after, while the dim-witted Sir Bobby was eaten alive by a...
Okay, Clyde, let's not give her nightmares.
And by the way, change your ending. It really sucked. Oh. Yeah, court agrees that that ending sucked. But this is where shit even gets more stupider from these boys. In case you guys haven't even figured out that Lincoln doesn't even learn anything when he saw Price of Admission, especially later on in The Boss maybe. And you guys do not have to tell me how stupid this is, because let me say, it's already stupid as it is.
Yeah! What should we do now?
Zombie marathon?
Are you an idiot? Dumbass! 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 Dumbass!
It's okay, Lily. Go back to...
How about I slip somebody $100 to throw acid in your face?
Costs more than that, I bet.
Bastards. Fucking little bastards. Why the fuck would you guys even watch a horror movie, especially when you got a baby around here? And don't even scream if you're not even used to horror movies. Because if you ain't used to seeing a dead body or seeing blood, you're better off not watching any horror movies at all. Hell, some kids rather watch Care Bears than The Black Cauldron.
Shut the f*** up!
Sleep. You ever read any books about getting babies to sleep? Of course! NapQuest, The Impossible Journey. It says babies like white noise. It reminds them of the womb.
Knowledge use open Euclid. Everybody uses with the sword.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, sweetie. How's everything going?
Great. Smooth sailing.
Yeah, we're just having a teeny bit of a problem getting her to nap.
You know what always works for me? Taking her to the park. That'll wear her out.
Thanks for the tip, Mom. Bye. Clyde, what happened? Sorry, Lincoln. I couldn't turn off all the faucets in time.
I'll go get the mops.
Survey says...
So Lincoln and Clyde actually take Lily to the Ketchum Park, which I swear that's kind of somewhere familiar with Dennis the Menace. And I love those comics. I like Dennis the Menace along with Garfield, Delbert, and I especially love the Peanuts. Wow, Chris really did grow up reading comics.
Wow, your mom knows your stuff.
Are you sure about that, McBride? Because I wouldn't even give her 100% clear on that of her being a good mother. Remember House Flip? Remember Brawl in the Family? Oh, I got a lot more of what she was worse in.
Okay, Lily, have fun with your little friends. We'll be right over there watching you.
Well, as Lori Loud would have said to him before she even left to go to Aunt Ruth's,
Trust me, you're gonna fail.
You! Lick my sack, you fairy! Get the fuck out of here!
Hurry up there, Ray!
Clyde! Lily's on the loose!
After them, you fools! Let's get up!
I'm a wilting waterfowl.
Ready, Captain. Aim.
Will you put that down?
Must Ralph beat some sense into that overcooked noodle that you call a head?
Here I come.
Oh, yeah?
One bear in the bag coming up.
Hey, kids! Wait your turn!
Gotcha!
This is not polite, kids!
No!
Lily! Let's get you home, Lily.
I am awesome! And it just keeps on getting better.
Well, that was a nightmare, but it still beats eating moldy pudding at Aunt Ruth's.
That running gag is really killing my eyeballs. Or my ears, to be precise, since I'm actually hearing it instead of just, well, you know. If anyone who were to watch this episode at first, they would already know by now. But for these two dimwits, watch how long it fucking takes for them to even fucking realize.
Oh, it's okay. Don't cry. Shh. Hey, is there something different about Lily?
Oh shit!
Wow, this took 2 fucking rocket scientists to figure this shit out in 30 seconds. And this really kills me was, how the fuck did they not fucking know that they actually grabbed the wrong baby? I mean, the pacifier in that baby's mouth, that's not Lily's pacifier. And plus how the way Lily cries, this is nothing compared to how the way this baby cries. Hell, that little baby wasn't even in there when all the other kids came in there with Lily. And that mud on the head does not really pay it off. But much as more trouble reigns on their little parade, parents and the kids are actually gonna be home in about 10 minutes. Nah, screw the 10 minutes. I don't even know how much time they got left, but they better get that baby soon and quick enough. Yep, that's quick enough.
Excuse me, sir? I believe this belongs to you.
Darn, I always do this.
Not the very bright dad, are ya? So the 2 nitwits actually managed to get the real Lily home just in time before the parents could even catch them in the act. But the ending gets way much stupider than you can even imagine, and some of the shit isn't even justified.
Mom?
Hi, sweetie. I just got a call from Billy's dad. Billy, from the playground.
The jig is up! What are we gonna do?
Get a hold of yourself.
I'm in deep puppy doo!
Calm down. Don't get your fur in a bunch.
Billy just came down with chickenpox, which means you and Clyde and Lily might have been exposed. I'm afraid all 3 of you will have to be quarantined. But luckily, Aunt Ruth has already had the chickenpox, so...
Survey says...
And fuck that.
Who in the flying fuck thought about this idea? This felt like a last minute shove this up your ass moment. Like they just randomly made shit up as they go. It's very sad how they didn't let a couple of teenagers actually write a few episodes of The Loud House. It's really kind of sick how the way they got how Aunt Ruth already got the chicken pox. Hell, I bet they got the chicken pox as well too. Shit, while you writers are at it, why don't you do an episode around COVID-19? Oh wait, that's already been done with, and that's already been banned in almost every state and country. Well, at least I'm not suffering too much as I did with the other review. And you know what? If Clyde's parents would have actually figured out that he actually got the chicken pox, they would have been riding on the Loud parents' asses. Not literally.
Lincoln, let Clyde watch Lily. My bunions are aching something fierce.
Fuck this.
See ya, loser.
The way this bitch is smiling at him. It's like she likes taking the liking of torturing this kid. Who does this to their kid? I stand corrected.
Well, so much for strategy.
You need to call a damn foot doctor, or better yet, get a chainsaw. Because let me tell you what, I'm not touching anybody's bunions.
Excuse me.
Okay, now then, since that was Two Boys and a Baby. Okay, so remember when I explained my points about the episodes Lincoln Loud Girl Guru and The Loudest Yard? When one of them actually came no surprise to me because Lincoln made a mistake that all the girls shared his sister's interest, so he needed to be punished for his mistake. And the other one, he had no knowledge of football. And I totally lied if I said I didn't see that coming, that he was going to score for the wrong team. But with Two Boys and a Baby, this episode kind of left me with such a sick feeling that I consider even almost worse than One of the Boys, which I will revisit because I actually hated that episode. And it had a few redeeming elements that kept me away from giving it a low score. And as for Two Boys and a Baby, there was nothing redeeming about it. And I really did feel nauseous throughout the episode because I absolutely hated the ending, especially when I loathe Aunt Ruth. It's fairly tedious to identify a bad episode from this series, but it's because there are several good episodes to balance out the bad ones. But with Two Boys and a Baby, I felt like it deserved to be shredded up like a diaper. And my huge issue with the episode was how horrible out of character Lincoln was. He seemed like he had no problem caring about Lily in other episodes, but it's suddenly hard for him in this episode. And don't use it's a different timeline again on this one, because it's no excuse. When we seen him do it in Project Loud House, Left in the Dark, and even changing the baby. And beyond, I hated the toilet humor in this episode, especially when the diaper gets flung up by the fan. That was really disturbing for me. And even the ending, how the boys end up getting chicken pox because they went to the park, that was a stupid way to actually end this episode on that kind of... It felt like a last minute to squeeze in the episode so they could finish the episode. So what's good about this episode? And I'm not gonna regret saying this. Clyde being in this episode. I felt like this was really a good example to actually push Clyde into this episode to be with Lincoln, just so he could try to help babysit. Because it almost felt like he actually knows so much about babies. And then again, he actually learns more about it in Baby Steps, which is an episode I really loved. And you know, it's really good to have him in a few episodes if it feels like it's the right kind of episode where he's needed. This one is a good exception, but it's not enough to actually save the episode. I don't hate it whatsoever, but I feel like some Loud House episodes are weaker, but it's balanced out by a handful of good episodes. Sort of. This is the first season, you know. I'm the Loud House critic. And by the way, thanks Andreas for actually covering for me from last week's review.
In the loud house, duck, dodge, push and shove. It's how we show our love. In the loud house, one boy and 10 girls wouldn't trade it for the world.